What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 Postgame Show. I'm Jim. With me is DiNardo. DiNardo, how you doing this Sunday?
I'm doing pretty good, Jim. How about yourself?
You know what? I'm doing all right. The Pirates unfortunately cannot complete the sweep today. They lose 6-4. But you know what? It was a pretty good overall, road trip. Pirates go 5-1. They looked like the better team, as opposed to the Royals and the Cardinals. So good road trip. It would have been nice to have just swept the whole state of Missouri, but I guess we'll give them this one.
I guess if you have to, it kind of stinks because we knew this game was probably going to go two ways. It was going to be an epic performance by Johan Oviedo, and the Pirates going to come out victorious, or Johan Oviedo was going to put up a stinker, and they were going to struggle. And that's kind of what happened today. Now, albeit it's not as if the Pirates couldn't have won this. There was opportunities, and that's kind of how this whole series has gone. It's gone back and forth, I feel like, every single game. So not that it was great baseball played in every single game, but they all were interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was a fun series of baseball to watch, right? All the games were competitive. The Pirates, they won 2 out of 3 going into today. Yeah, and I don't have any complaints about the way that this team played over the weekend. If I have any sort of complaints whatsoever, they're directed towards more of the front office. But yeah, you can't ask for more than 5-1 on a 6-game road trip, even when you are facing teams that are below you in the standings. So I think Pirates fans should be pretty pleased with how their team performed this week. Johan Oviedo, let's kind of get right into it. That was, this was his second start of the week. He pitched a complete game shutout against the Royals on Monday. You hope he kind of comes back and he's still in the groove, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. He was off today. From the beginning, you could notice right from the get-go, he was missing arm side all day. Had no idea where he was throwing it. And he was able to labor through 3 2/3. And honestly, I think we're lucky that he even gave us that. But 6 walks, 4 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, just 2 strikeouts. Complete opposite Johan Oviedo as opposed to the one we saw on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what makes him who he is, I guess, at this point in time.
Yeah.
He's extremely unpredictable. And as mentioned, this week kind of sums up his entire season. He has a complete game shutout. He looks amazing. And you're sitting here saying this is exactly why he's penciled in for the rotation next year. He's a solid piece. I love what he brings. And then he has the outing today, which makes you wonder, there's still some work to do, And again, I like Johan Oviedo. I think he's a good pitcher. I think he's certainly going to be part of this starting rotation next year. But you just want to see less inconsistencies from him. You would like to go into start kind of knowing what you're going to get. Now, more than anything, it's a good case. That's a good outing from him, right? But yeah, today just wasn't it. Like you mentioned, 3.2, 6 walks, just 2 strikeouts. That's one thing you could always kind of say beforehand as well. Even when he didn't pitch well, he labored through and pretty much gave you those 5 innings that you mentioned. Today, he wasn't able to do that, unfortunately. But that's also kind of an issue at this point in time because this bullpen's being used every single game. There's only 2 starters. So yeah, that's kind of the unfortunate part with him only going 3.2 today.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the way this rotation's set up, right? You've got essentially two starting pitchers. You're using a ton of guys in that bullpen. They didn't have a whole lot of people even available today. They were able to get multiple innings from Baraki and Zastrizny. Bolton, they wanted to get multiple innings out of him. He wasn't able to. They used Hernandez to kind of get those last couple outs. But yeah, I mean, you want to see that consistency out of Oviedo. And I think, we've seen enough this year, right? That Johan Oviedo, he's a start. He's in the starting rotation for 2024. Like, you do not need to worry about that or concern yourself with it. Like, he is going to be in the opening day starting rotation for this team, right? So he's at least solidified that spot. But you do kind of want to still see improvement out of him. We saw the improvement this year from last year in that, he kind of showed us that he's a starting pitcher. He's certainly capable of putting together multiple really good outings. It's just now that next step for him is going to be the consistency. Can he give you a good start? He doesn't have to do it every time, right? Because even the best starters in the majors put clunkers up. Like, that's going to happen.
Right.
But you're just seeing too much inconsistency right now with Johan Oviedo. The overall numbers look good. You'll take a starting pitcher with a 4.27 ERA any day of the week. But again, to take that next step, can he avoid starts like this where, yeah, he gives you a lot of really good outings, but he also does this too much.
So let me ask you this though too. Like you said, like there needs to be some improvement, but like the improvement on him isn't so much like he has to better this, he has to better that. It's like you're saying consistency. Does that worry you less or more that that's like what he needs to improve on?
I guess it worries me less. Like, that's not
That's
like,
kind
it's
of like
not a
where I'm
big,
at.
yeah, it's not a big worry. Like, I'm not super concerned with Oviedo right now because the pitcher that he is currently is just fine. Like, if this is who he is for the next 4 years or whatever, the Pirates have control over him, so be it. Like, I'll take it. But you definitely would like to see that improvement in that more consistency out of him. And like I said, today it was easy from the get-go to see what was wrong with him. Like, there was just something mechanically that was off because it was the same problem every pitch. He was fine when he was throwing glove side, like when he was trying to hit that side of the plate, he was good. But anytime he wanted to do something on that, arm side of the plate, it was sailing on him. So, he was opening up probably too early, if I had to guess, just from what I know about pitching. And that was causing that ball to sail on him. Luckily, that's something that can be kind of figured out, diagnosed, corrected rather easily. So I don't think this is like a long-term issue with him. But that was like, today was weird. I feel like his command today was the worst we've seen all season.
That's probably fair. Like, even at his bad, this probably was the worst. But yeah, like, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. Like if there was going to be something, this is probably the one that makes me least worried. Like you said, if this is what he's going to be, it's solid. And we kind of, I think behind the scenes more than on camera talk, like, would you rather have Oviedo or like a Rich Hill when they each give you about like a 4.5 ERA? And I said, it kind of depends on like the team that you have. If you have a high powered offense, I'll take Rich Hill because if you're going to give me 4.5, my team's going to score 5. But a team like the Pirates, when you're not able to like score a lot of runs a lot of times, I'll maybe take Oviedo because there's times that he's really, really on, you're probably going to win. And times that he's off, well, you're never going to score 8 runs anyway. So it's a loss. But like, I guess with him, like, if this is what he needs to work on, we see the stuff, you see the talent. The dude's a start. Like, we questioned if he's a reliever or a starter last year. Like, we're going to move past that. Everything tells me at this point in time, he is a starter. If he can be consistent, makes him a good starter or your number 4, number 5 starter. So like, if he can just work on the mechanics to become consistently throwing for strikes, you got something here with him. And that should excite you for 2024 with him. Look past the ERA. That's what should excite you because when he is on, it's 0, it's 1, sometimes 2 earned runs. Like it's not even 3 when he's on. Like he's a 1 to 2 earned run type of guy when he's on 6-7 innings. And when he's off, which is in the minority, that's when you get 6, 7, or 8 earned.
Yeah. No, you're right, and it's like I said, it's frustrating because like you see what he's capable of doing, right? And then you see him put in games like this, and it's just a consistency thing. You hope that that's something that gets addressed over the offseason, and he comes back next season. Like he's a better pitcher this year than he was last year, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think you just gotta hope that he just keeps developing, and that next year he comes back a better pitcher than he was this year.
That's all you can ask for.
So,
And even if he doesn't, it's fine.
yep. So let's get into this. Sunday lineup for the Pirates: Miguel Andujar batting fifth today. Vinny Capra batting eighth. Jason DeLay behind the plate. Day game after a night game, you kind of expect that, but yeah, it's game started off. Let's just say the game started off rocky for Oviedo, right? He loads the bases up in the first inning with nobody out. Like we thought this was going to be a disaster from the get go. 3 on, no outs. He gets out of it. There's a really nice play made by Brian Hayes on a ball down the corner that he gets.
Again.
Yeah, the dude he just won the fielding Bible defensive player of the month for August. I think it's going to be really difficult for people to not give him the Gold Glove this year. Like at this point, it's probably him or Manny Machado, but man, he's so good. Like, and we just see him every day. He's so good. But yeah, he makes a great play. He saves a run. Oviedo somehow dances out of the rest of the trouble, gets some pop ups. So 0-0 after one, and then your boy DiNardo, Miguel Andujar.
I love him.
Steps
My favorite player.
Zach Thompson, Cardinal starting pitcher, throws the ball 6 inches inside. Like this ball's in the right-handed batter's box, and it's like about to hit the ground. And Miguel Andujar, he shows you why, like there's obviously he hasn't put it together in forever, right? But there's clearly some talent there. Otherwise, he wouldn't be putting up the numbers he is in AAA. This ball that he hit, I have no idea, first off, how he kept it fair because of how far it was inside. But he also crushed it. It went off the facade on the second deck. Like the dude murdered the ball. Your boy, Miguel Andujar, giving the
So
Pirates a 1-0 lead.
I don't know how strike one and strike two right down the middle go by him. And then, like you said, and then the ball that's 6 inches up from the dirt, 6 inches off the plate, he crushes for a home run.
That's the one.
It's mind-boggling. I don't get it. I don't understand. But you take it. I don't believe in Miguel Andujar's talents, but I'm thankful that he had the RBI last night. I'm thankful he had the home run today. He also ended up getting another hit later on. So I'm not ready to eat my words after today. But yeah, Miguel Andujar hits the craziest pitch. I'm not gonna say I've ever seen, but like that had no business going for a hit or out of the ballpark.
And he crushed it. He crushed the ball. So it's like, and it's stuff like that where you're like, oh, like this guy is like there's talent there, but it's like he just is so he doesn't hit the ball enough. I mean, plain and simple, and then he doesn't hit the ball square enough. But yeah, Andujar gets the Pirates on the board in the second inning with his third homer of the year, second versus a actual pitcher. So that was that kind of got everybody going. Like we're in a good mood. But then the second inning happens. Oviedo gets into trouble again, gives up a run. Third inning happens. Jordan Walker basically does the same thing that Andujar does. Turns an inside pitch, gone, crushes it. 3-1 Cardinals at that point. Pirates kind of claw their way back into it though in the fourth inning. A big hit by Liover Peguero. He was about 6 inches from hitting another home run, but he drives in the game tying run in the fourth with a double. Let's talk about Peguero. Let's kind of stop here. He went 2 for 4 today, RBI double. He made an unbelievable play in the field too. In the eighth inning, a call that got overturned. The guy has a 462 slugging percentage now. That's better than Brian Reynolds. At one point today, he had his weighted runs created plus was up to 112. I think it probably finished somewhere around 110. 109 right now.
109. Yep.
But he's basically right up there currently with, like, that's the same territory. Kutch is in, Reynolds is in, Connor Joe is in. They're all kind of in that 110-ish territory. He's establishing himself as one of the better hitters on this team.
I want to have an entire podcast about Peguero at this point in time. Like, I really do. He has turned it up so much in this road trip. And that's not just this road trip. Like, he has been progressively getting better. But I mean, he's gone from, yeah, there's some things you're liking from Peguero to he's the reason like the team is winning in all 6 of these games for the most part. You know, and today he was a big reason of them coming back. I mean, like you talked about the 2 hits he had. I mean, that one almost goes out of the park, right? It's so close, which I feel like he had another one. Was it last night or the night before? Very similar. That new bar, you know, track down. I mean, we're not going to be a home run, but almost a hit, you know, in that sense. But that play defensively. So my mindset in this, I'm watching Jose Hernandez pitch. Not the biggest control freak, if you want to talk. He's not the guy. I mean, you saw Bednar last night. Foul, right? I'm sitting there thinking, okay, it's full count, bases loaded. The last thing you want is this at bat to go at length. Like, Jose, you need some weak contact here because you're going to walk a guy in. You need some weak contact here. And it happened, and it went to a place that nobody was at. And I was like, oh, shit. And then out of nowhere, Peguero comes out, catches it, and I'm like, well, damn it. It's a great catch, but he's not going to make the out with that throw, and he does. Like, I know it wasn't called that way initially, but not only the great catch, but the great throw to make the play. All the stuff he's done offensively, that to me is almost the highlight of this road series.
Yeah, I mean, it was an outstanding play. You mentioned, like, he came out of nowhere. Like, when the camera, you know, switches from the center field camera to the home plate camera, you're thinking that ball is in the outfield. Like, there's no way anybody's getting to this. And then Peguero just flies across your screen, lays out for it, stops it, and then at the same time throws him out from his knees, like as he's falling over to his left. It was an incredible play. Now, we also saw the opposite. He made an error earlier in the game that did ultimately cost the Pirates 2 runs. They lose by 2 today. So, you know, there's kind of that whole thing. But he's looked fairly competent at shortstop in his time there. He's looked good at second base, I think. You'd love to see him kind of establish himself as like a really sure-handed shortstop. I just don't know if we're going to get that out of him. But you know what? If he's hitting like this, he can be just fine at second base.
That's where I'm at. You're seeing the talent. We were kind of down on him earlier in the year. Started warming up to him again as he was, you know, heating back up in Double-A. And right now, we're just seeing him in the major leagues. Again, I stressing at 22 years of age. I'm impressed. Not ready to write anything in, but I'm impressed.
He's the one rookie that they've called up who has played a substantial amount of time and is really hitting well, right? I mean, you can say Endy has his moments, but like Liover Peguero is he looked great.
It's now been 129 plate appearances for him. And, you know, heading into a 0.6 WAR. So,
and it's the power, like 129 plate appearances, 10 extra base hits, 6 homers, 4 doubles. That, you know, you're getting a 450 slugging out of him right now. What's 462 right now? Like he's going to be a good little ball player if he's doing this at age 22. And the strikeouts are starting to come down. This entire series, he didn't strike out this entire series. That K percentage, that K rate was over 30% a week ago, and it's now down below 28. So yeah, he keeps doing things right and things that you like to see out of him. His development this year has been one of the most positive signs of the season.
For sure. Absolutely.
Moving on from after Peguero ties the game, Oviedo kind of gives it right back. He goes out for the 4th inning, gets into more trouble. Ryan Barucki comes in, is unable to strand the runners. He gives up a 2-run single to Alec Burleson. So the Cardinals go up 5-3 in the 4th. The other Palacios brother, Richie, adds on another run in the 7th against Zastryzny. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's 6-3. You're going into the 8th inning, and you're probably not feeling too good. But this Cardinals bullpen, we've seen them blow we saw them blow last night's game. They definitely gave the Pirates opportunities in the 8th inning. Just kind of just run through this 8th inning here. It starts off, Brian Hayes, infield single. Brian Reynolds, fielder's choice. McCutchen, walk. Connor Joe, walk. So the Pirates load the bases in the 8th, down 6-3. Miguel Andujar up. And he grounds into what we thought was a double play. It was rolled safe on the field. Replay kind of made it look like he was out, but they call stands. 1 run gets in, but they aren't able to cash in on that opportunity. Peguero grounds out, inning over. And then in the 9th inning, the Pirates just go down in order 1, 2, 3. But yeah.
Let me just say something there. That was the thing, like you said, not looking good for the Pirates. But one thing, at least on this road trip, you could say is even when they're down 6-3, it doesn't look good. But I didn't lose hope. There's many times in this season and all before the season in the rebuild where, I mean, there was absolutely no hope. I mean, the Pirates is down. They're down 6-3. It's over. It's absolutely over. It was improbable, but I'm sitting there thinking it could happen. It could happen, especially the lineup that was turning over to. And you still have Josh Palacios on the bench.
I was just about to say that. You've got your secret weapon, Joshua Palacios, on the bench to use in a big spot. They didn't use him in the 8th inning. So let's talk about that because, righty pitcher on the mound, Payante, facing Andujar. Andujar gets that ground out. I thought they were going to go to Palacios right then and there. What were your thoughts there? Are you surprised that they didn't? I mean, I guess looking in hindsight, you could say they probably should have, but is that something? Are we going to double? Are we really going to? Is this something we're going to harp on right here?
No,
I saw some
don't
people
think
talking
so.
about it.
A couple things. So this is the area that I spaced out a little bit on up front with you about this beforehand, and just for everyone else. But I did hear them say about he had very high reverse splits. So what, like batters hit the righties hit like 380 off him? Is that what it was?
Let's take a peek. Righty lefty splits.
So like if that's the case.
Yeah, so righties hit with a 380, 909 OPS against Andre Payante.
There you go. So I did hear that. So with that being the case, no issue. Because also, here's the thing too. In reality, now let's take out the clutch moment. Let's take out these moments Palacios has. In reality, I feel more comfortable with Connor Joe at the plate than Joshua Palacios, right? So if the splits also deem that, then I'm not having any issue with that at all.
That's fair. I think with the bases loaded there in the 8th, I probably would have gone Palacios over Andujar. I would have stuck with Joe, and I would have gone Palacios. But who knows what would have happened? I mean, Andujar did get an RBI out of it, so it wasn't like a completely wasted at bat. He did at least get a run in, but you would have loved to have cashed in there a little bit more than they did, because the 9th inning, Gallegos kind of just had his way with them, set him down in order. And that's when they used Andy Rodriguez to pinch hit for Capra. They used Palacios to pinch hit for Delay. Sawinski, was finishing off his regular 0-for-4 performance.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So like at that point, it is what it is. They lost. And again, I wasn't without hope. It was improbable. They don't win this game. However, still scored a run, 6-4. They take 5 out of 6. Like you still hang your head pretty high after this entire road series. You took out the Royals, which you should, right? But this is the St. Louis Cardinals. You actually dominated the St. Louis Cardinals in the year of 2023 right now. This isn't a good baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Like as a small victory though, the Pirates dominated the St. Louis Cardinals. So like take that for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is the end of the season series. There will be no more games against the Cardinals. The Pirates finished the Cardinals season series 9-4 against them. So 5 games better than 500. And if you look at the standings right now, the Pirates are 4 games up on the Cardinals. So if it wasn't for the Pirates dominating the Cardinals, the Pirates would be in last place.
There you go. And that's true though.
Yeah. So hey, silver linings, right?
That's it.
Well, tomorrow is Labor Day. You got any Labor Day plans, DiNardo? Anything fun?
Watch the Pirates.
I said something. I said anything fun. I said anything fun.
No.
No, well, it's a 6:35 game tomorrow at PNC Park. Home game, Labor Day. I might go to the pool for the day part of the day, and then I'll catch the game after that. But Corbin Burns faces off against the Pirates' best pitcher, TBA, tomorrow. Who's your guess? Who's starting tomorrow? Pick a name out of the hat. It's probably going to be an opener, right? So who's going to be? Who's going to be?
Well, like Hatch just threw to what 2.1, 2.2 yesterday. I don't like Selby's been pitching. I don't know. Like who's it gonna be?
I'm gonna go with Ryan Barucki starting tomorrow.
He's pitched back-to-back games also. Multi-innings.
Yeah, never mind. Colin Selby. It's gonna be Colin Selby.
But he pitched like what? He pitched yesterday in like 2 innings. How long ago? Not that far.
Yeah, but he only threw like 6 pitches yesterday.
That could be fair.
So
I don't know.
We're gonna have.
That's like again, that's just the microcosm of this issue. These relievers are just being taxed.
And then who knows? Also, Quinn Priester would be like normal rest for Quinn Priester if they wanted to go that route. Yeah, who knows what they're gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know.
No clue. Majinski's available too. I think I'd probably rather have Majinski later in a game.
That's the problem then too. It's like, okay, so we're talking about people that can be available for an opener. Okay, who's ready to to sub in when the long man is done pitching?
I'm gonna go Selby. And Burns. That's what I'm gonna go with.
That's the matchup of the century.
Oh yeah. It's a good matchup.
Selby has been good in the opener role. I'll say that.
Yes. So. All right. Well, let's get out of here. Unless you have anything else to add.
No.
Nice road trip. Pirates still take the series. Lose today 6-4. 5-1 road trip. They're 63-74 on the year. We gonna do Starbucks tomorrow morning? Labor Day Starbucks?
We should.
All right. So we'll be on tomorrow
morning.
At
7.
All right. We'll be on tomorrow morning, but it won't be at 7. Let's just push it back like an hour.
I'm good with that. 8.
All right. 8 o'clock. Starbucks tomorrow.
There you go.
All right. Pirates lose 6-4. We'll be here tomorrow morning. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.